Kirk Green, thanks for joining me on Louisiana Lefty.
Thank you, Lynda. It's always good. Anytime you need anything.
Well, I wanted to talk to you before we record the podcast about the governor's package that he's putting towards the legislature for some approval on some different funding issues. And one of the things that caught my eye was he's requesting a $3,000 teacher pay raise and a $1,500 pay raise for school support workers in his package. And because you're a teacher, I wanted to get your thoughts on that. And we were just talking before we started recording that he's tried to do this before as well, right?
He's put small increases on the table every year that he's been able to. Now, remember, he started with a deficit. We were in quite a big hole several years ago, and every year he's tried to give a little bit more and more. The original promise was try to get us to the Southern regional average. We haven't quite been able to get there yet, but this year it's 3,000 and 1,500. And it's always important to remember that it's not just the teachers, it's all the support workers at our school. It's our bus drivers, it's our lunch crew, it's our administrators, it's our paraprofessionals. I don't think people really understand sometimes how much work goes into a school, and especially the paraprofessionals. If you've never been on a campus and you see how much work is asked of these paraprofessionals and what all they actually can do, they are some amazing people, and they deserve as much mention sometimes as the teachers.
And does this 3,000, that's an annual 3,000, right? Mm-hmm. Does that get you to the Southern regional average or still below?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't get us to the Southern regional average. We'll still be below, but it's important people understand it's how the money is given to the districts. Because if you just give money to the districts, it can go into a general fund. It has to be specifically earmarked from Bessie and from the governor only for teacher salaries, or it can be diverted to other places. That's why talking about it in the right way and putting it forward as the right compensation package, not just we're giving more money to the school district, but for these specific things.
And what would it mean for teachers to get an additional $3,000 a year?
But we all like more money. Now, I don't think anybody is going to ever say, no, don't give me more money. That's for sure. It's not just about the money, though. I mean, everybody, like I said, we would like more money, but it's also the respect of being a professional. We go to college for this. We learn every year. We have these environments where we try to learn from each other. We try to get better at our job. We are professionals. We would like to be treated as such. And it's not, like I said, that goes beyond just money. A fair compensation for your skills and your labor is just the tip of the iceberg.
Right. And does it make it difficult for us to keep teachers here because we don't reach this Southern regional average?
Not only to keep them here, but to keep them in the profession. There are teachers going to other professions because they have bills to pay. You know, they have to make ends meet just like anybody else. Right. And it's getting tougher and tougher to buy groceries, pay your light bill, pay your, all the things you have to do every year gets tougher and tougher. And we're not scheduled for cost of living increases or anything like that. Every year we have to go back and try to work with that.
And for those who don't pay rapt attention to the legislature and the budget, part of the issue here is that because of the way Louisiana is set up, because of a lot of the constitutional amendments we've passed, healthcare and education are two of the only places they can really cut funding from when we don't have enough money. Is that correct?
Yes, you're correct.
Right. So that's why this issue with teachers getting enough money. And I see he's also got in there, Governor John Bel Edwards also has in his package, his final budget proposal, his last budget proposal for his last year as governor, a higher ed funding increase for scholarships, faculty, and campuses too, which is another place in education where we've really lacked.
That's because they really, you like I know, we've had governors in the past, we won't call any names specifically, that really cut into higher education, really cut the funding for what they were being able to do. And we have some amazing students. We have some amazing, colleges all around Louisiana. But right now, if you look at some of the facilities, it's not up to par with the level of education that we can give. My daughter goes to LSU, and we had to buy her a chair. I know. It was she has a 6-hour class that she has to be, and they didn't have enough chairs for students, so we went out and had to buy her one. Why we had to do that with at a major university like LSU is a little beyond my understanding. I'm sure they can give me a good reason if they wanted to manufacture something, but that to me is a problem when you look at some of the buildings and the maintenance on campus. And you see, like I do, all the pictures that come out from people who are covering these issues. It's some of the building conditions are just deplorable. And that's LSU. Think about our other smaller universities then. If we can't get LSU right, what's that say for all of our other universities? What's that say for Southern? If you live in Baton Rouge, you understand exactly how important Southern University is. You cannot go anywhere in Baton Rouge without finding leadership from Southern University that graduated from there. So it's not just LSU, it's every single college that we have in this state. They are putting out remarkable leaders. We have remarkable students. We can give them just amazing education, but we need to build the facilities around the kind of leadership and education that we have.
Absolutely. So one of the things folks can do if they're interested in supporting this is make sure they're contacting their legislators. Everybody has one state senator, one state rep. We'll put a link to find out who your state legislators are and what their contact information is wherever we post this video. So folks can contact them and make sure they're asking them to fund higher education, to fund education, and to support these things that the governor's put forth in his budget this year. So Kirk, thank you so much for being a teacher. And thanks for explaining your side of the story there for us. And sit tight. We're going to get right to recording the podcast.
Thank you.